Let's take you back in time to Battleground, Virginia, where in November of last year, Glenn Youngkin fought his way to the governor's mansion by campaigning on education and empowering parents. Skip ahead to today. A new poll reveals that the GOP is gaining huge ground on this issue. In 2020, Democrats had a 15-point edge among voters. Now the GOP has a 4-point advantage. So can Republicans ride this issue all the way to the midterms? Here now, New York Post columnist Kara Markowitz and deputy managing editor of Red State, Kira Davis. Thank y'all so much, ladies. I always want to go to y'all on education. Y'all been following it from the very beginning. Carol, was it the lockdowns, was it CRT, or was it the fact that parents want education choice these days?
It's all of it, Lawrence. You know, it started with the lockdowns, and I think for a lot of parents, they're afraid that Republicans are going to let Democrats off the hook with what they did in the lockdowns because we're kind of getting away from that time period, and maybe some people are moving on. But what happened during the lockdowns when Democrats specifically took away school from poor kids all across the country because the teachers' unions and Randy Weingarten told them to, is that so much education was lost and so much kids fell behind. But also parents saw what was going on in the classrooms for the very first time and they really didn't like it. So it's the lockdowns, yes. It's the CRT, yes. It's all of it really all together. And the fact that rich kids had options. They got to get out of the system. They got to, get a tutor. They got to form pods. They got to go to private schools. But poor kids were left at home and left to not be able to go to school. And this is all coming to a head now.
It's so true. Kira, I want to take you to Lindsay Burke, and she's with the Heritage Foundation. This is what she had to say about this. Parents know that they are their child's first and foremost educator. Conservative policies like curriculum transparency and education choice give parents the tool to reject the radical circular content in schools and vote with their feet when they are unhappy. Is that what it's about?
Yeah, I think, Lawrence, I have to wonder about the CRT thing. I think people like you and I and Carol were on it from the beginning because this is our job. But I think lockdowns is what accelerated our interest and our concern about CRT. The big misstep of the left and the teachers union, as led by Randy Weingarten, was that they overplayed their hand. They went too far. And so when we parents got a peek into that virtual classroom, it was a huge revelation, and it changed everything. And I think everything that we're seeing in the way of how parents are concerned about education has to do with the COVID lockdowns. And it may be the one silver lining of the whole debacle is that parents are engaged. And boy, oh boy, once you get parents lit up, I mean, it's a cliche at this point, but there is no more dangerous place than to be between a mother and her cub. And our government and our teachers union have gotten in the way of that, and we've seen that reflected in the polling. And I hope Republicans can take advantage of that this November.
So Tim Scott agrees with you on this, Kira. This is what he had to say in this op-ed. He says parents fearful of the long-term consequences of lost learning are desperate to help because they know the clock is tickling. The fourth grader who is still unable to read can't wait. The junior in high school who won't be ready for college courses can't wait. The student with the disabilities who hasn't received consistent services in 2 years can't wait. Though the government alone can't solve this crisis, our nation, fortunately, has much more powerful tools to help kids, their parents. Carol.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Look, I spent, 2 years on television saying that no amount of COVID money was going to open these schools. It didn't matter at all. It was really a boondoggle just to get extra funding for these unions. That money belongs to the parents. They deserve to use it however they see fit. I'm one of those parents who saw my child falling behind. I'm in New York this weekend to visit family, but we moved to Florida because I saw my kids fading. I saw them falling behind in school because they didn't have regular school, because my 5-year-old had to wear a mask every day to school. All of this mattered a lot, and it matters to parents still. Parents have to get the education they need for their kids. They need their kids to catch up, and that money belongs to them. Tim Scott's absolutely right.
Kira, I only got a few seconds left, but have the teachers union lost all their power? Because I think parents are looking at them when this problem comes to the forefront.
Well, we now know that teachers' unions have really been giving our kids the short end of the stick. They still have a lot of power, though. They still have a lot of money. Their coffers are full. That's why it's really important for Americans to get out there this November, support candidates who are running locally, who you know you can trust. Candidates like me, Lawrence. I'm running for my school board here in Orange County, and go out and support those candidates. This is your money. These are your children. Our school boards work for us, not the other way around. Our teachers work for us, not the other way around. And I think it's time we start flexing that power.
The moms that will wreck you if you mess with their cubs. Kara, thanks so much.